There have been 21 serious allergic reactions reported by people who received the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine. But to put that into perspective, that's 21 cases out of nearly 2 million doses administered. Stephanie Whitfield is breaking down the new info just released by the CDC.
Millions of people have gotten their first dose of the COVID-19 vaccine. The CDC says a handful of people have had severe allergic reactions. Here's what we know by the numbers. As of December 23rd, more than 1.8 million people had gotten Pfizer's shot. 175 people reported adverse reactions. 21 were determined to be anaphylaxis, which the CDC describes as a life-threatening allergic reaction. 7 are still under investigation. Let's break that data down even more. The CDC followed up with all but one person. 81% had a history of allergic reactions. They range from 27 to 60 years old. 90% were women, but more women have been vaccinated. 86% of patients said their symptoms started within 30 minutes. 19 out of 21 people were treated with epinephrine. 4 were hospitalized, including 3 in intensive care, but luckily, all have recovered. With this new information in mind, the CDC issued new guidance for vaccination locations. It includes monitoring people who have a history of allergic reactions for 15 to 30 minutes after their shot. What does this mean for you? If you carry an EpiPen, you can still get the COVID-19 vaccine, but you should talk to your doctor first. Stephanie Whitfield, KHOU 11 News.